Howdy, team. So our assignment for this week is going to be what is called a Mad Lib. Now, a Mad Lib is basically a fill-in-the-blank story. You're given a certain set of word types that you have to choose from, and you fill in those blanks with those word types to create a full story. Now, this is a story that I wrote. It's a story based off of the engineering design process. Now, the engineering design process is something we've used the entire year, but we've never really directly talked about it, so I'm going to go over it really quickly. So, with the engineering design process, you start with a problem. Like for the egg drop, it was how are we going to protect an egg with only toothpicks and glue when it's dropped from 10 feet? Then you start to research it. You go back and you look at your supplies, you look at the issue at hand, and you do as much research as possible. Now, this is important to be really thorough in this. Uh, After you've done your research, you set your conditions for success. What do you need in order to be successful? What are you trying to achieve, first of all, and what can you do within the constraints that you have? Moving on, then you start to brainstorm about how you can take those conditions and make a solution. From there, you create. After you've brainstormed and chosen that one idea, you create your prototype. And then, after you've created it, you get to test it. And during the testing process, you're also going to be collecting data. Um, from there, you move on to reflecting on that data, seeing was your test successful? Was it not successful? And then after you've looked at that data, decided whether it was successful or not, you go back in and modify it. And oftentimes what that looks like is you'll go back all the way to brainstorming and then go through this process again until it becomes successful, and then you'll move on. Now, I always think that you should always try modifying, always trying to make better, push it a little bit further. From there, you go on to revealing it. And revealing it means you're showing it, sharing it with people, letting them hear what your idea is. And after you've presented it to people, then you ask for their feedback. And this is super important because you've had your feedback as you've reflected and brainstormed, but it's important to get as much outside feedback as possible. And that's how the process works. So my story is based around this process, but it's a little weird, a little funny. So let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what a Mad Lib is. When you click on the link, you're going to see just a page pop up that looks like this. And this is a Mad Lib fill in the blank. You're not actually going to see the actual story. All you're going to be doing is choosing words to fill in these blanks. So when you click on it, it will actually let you type in a word. So it says household appliance. Now, household appliance is something that's an electronic that helps you take care of your house. I'm just going to say a toaster, okay? Now, in this case, where it says household appliance, I want you to use the same household appliance for the entire activity. So what I would just do is copy it, and I'd paste it anywhere I see household appliance. Household appliance. And you have to be really careful as you're typing this in to not hit the back button because you might lose all your work if you do. So here's household appliance again, but it's a part of a household appliance. So a part of a household toaster would be its cord. So I'm going to just say cord. Okay. Household appliance, typing in that. And as you can see, I'm just going down and just filling in every place where it says household appliance. Okay. So this is what a Mad Lib is. Now, I've also provided with y'all a explanation of all the different parts of speech that you're going to be asked to fill in here. Now, most Mad Libs just have nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs that you have to fill in the blank, but I added a couple of extra little different types of parts of speech that I'm asking for. And they're not really parts of speech, they're just other things that I'm asking for. So, you'll always be asked for nouns. And nouns are persons, places, or things. Singular, it's obviously just one. Plural is more than one. An adjective would go to describe the noun or the pronoun. Verb, when it says verb in present tense, that means it's going to be something that's happening now. So, I swim. I swim. Okay. I like to eat. I kick the ball. These are things that are happening now. Where it says verb past tense, we're talking about something that happened in the past. So this usually ends in ed or just d. I kicked the ball. I swam. I ate. Now some of these are irregular. They change, so they don't always end in ed. Verbs ending in ing. When it asks you for this, I actually want just a verb that ends in ing. Swimming, eating, pooping. And then an adverb is something that describes the verb. So how are you doing it? It usually ends in ly. So quickly swimming, quickly eating, quickly pooping. Okay, and then for all the other topics here, we have your name. So anytime it says your name, I need you to put your actual name in here. So if we go back to the Mad Lib, you click on it, and you just type in your name. And my name's Ryan. So anytime it says your name, I'm going to actually put my name. Because this story is about you. And after it's created, you'll get to read about something that you did. Yeah. So please use your name because you're also going to be submitting this to me. So we just keep going through, and like I said, you just copy and paste your name wherever it says your name. And there's a lot of times where this happens because, like I said, the story is about you doing something. Household appliance, we already talked about that. That's just an electronic that helps the house function. A store name, any kind of store, any store you want at all. You know, the weirder the option you choose, the funnier the story tends to be. Or it could also, the weirder it is, the more bizarre it is. Where it says occupation, that's just someone's job. A piece of technology is any type of electrical machinery that's used to do a task. A website, just type a website URL, www.pickinyournose.com. The who, what, when, where, why, choose one. You just have to choose one of these words, either who, what, when, where, or why. Select one of the words and just type it in. Make up a username, number 1. So just make up a fake username for number 1. And then there's a number 2, which means create a different type of username or a different username. You don't want to use the same one on that one. Part of the household appliance, every household appliance has different parts to it. Just name one of those. A friend's name, that's actually one of your friend's name. You can also choose a family member's name if you want to. Amount of time is in seconds, minutes, weeks, years, lifetimes. Part of a house, literally, like we're talking about a part of a house here. So like the roof, the floor, the walls, the bed, whatever you would find. Well, the bed's not really a part of the house, so not the bed, but like a door or cabinets. Type of leader. So we have like presidents, we have dictators, we have czars, we have queens, we have kings, prime ministers. These are leaders of countries or places. The big cheese. Choose a type of leader and fill that in that blank. So I've gone through all the different things that you're going to be asked to choose a word for. Right now I'm going to go ahead and fill out mine, and then I am going to show you what it looks like once it's finally created. So I'm going to fast forward this real quick so I can get this done so you can just take a look. So I'm just going through looking at the words below the lines, whether it says noun, verb, appliance, your name, and I am using that to decide what word I'm going to put above it. So if it has a noun and it says plural below the line, I'm going to type in a plural noun, something like flowers or desks or hands. Now, I took a look at this point when I'm making the video and realized there's still a lot left to do. So I went ahead and went down to the bottom, and I ended up just going ahead and not finishing it, just so I could show y'all exactly what this will end up looking like. It takes some time, maybe about a good 15 to 20 minutes, so take your time and finish it completely, please. Okay, so I just went ahead and skipped ahead to show y'all what it is actually going to end up looking like. And as you can see, it has a title. In this case, the title is The Problem with the Toaster. And then it goes into the story about what happened with this toaster. And now everywhere that I have typed something, it filled it into the blank into the story. So let me just read a quick little bit of it to you. Um, Ryan absolutely hated dealing with their family's toaster. Now I chose to use their instead of he or she. There is now becoming a word that, even though it means plural, multiple people, it's also something that means singular. So there. If you don't know someone's gender, you can just use their, they, their. Um, so hated dealing with someone's family, dealing with their family's toaster. Often it would run whenever Ryan would attempt to swim it. It had been purchased near Home Depot from a beautiful doctor who swore it would jump the world. So here you see it's plugging it in. It's some of the stories are funny, some of them kind of get a little bit weird. You can do this as many times as you want. There is one word in here that I forgot to tell you about, type of adhesive. So a type of adhesive is a glue or anything that's sticky that's going to hold things together. Tape, duct tape. Once you've finished your story, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and hit Command P, or you can go up to File and press Print. And what's going to happen is it is going to pull up your story and it's going to print your story. And what I want you to do is where it says destination, it's going to be, I want you to make sure you click on Save as PDF. Once you save it as PDF, go ahead and click Save, and you can save it to your desktop. What I actually recommend doing is renaming this to your name. So I'm going to go ahead and say Ryan _ Edwards. And you know what? I'll also add at the end Mad _ Lib. So Ryan Edwards Mad Lib. And then I'll go ahead and save it to the desktop. And now here it is. And so this is what you'll end up submitting. You'll be attaching this into the submissions part of Schoology. And once you submit it, you're done. Now here, if you take a look, you can see that when I typed in too long of a word, it actually cut it off so you couldn't see it. So maybe you try to keep your words a little bit within the line when you first see it. But obviously, like iPhone worked and foot worked and ugly and rug. Don't be afraid to send me a text or email me. I'm here to support y'all. If you have any questions, just let me know. I miss all of y'all. On a side note, the eggs have not come in yet, but they're so back ordered that I went ahead and ordered from a different farm too. So now I have 2 sets of eggs coming in. But I'm thinking within the next week or so, I should have eggs in the incubator and a live feed up for y'all. Okay, peace.